Rizo and the Quaking Mountain. The sun was barely peeking through the thick canopy of the Dinosaur Forest as Rizzo wandered deeper into the mysterious woods. The air was thick with the earthy scent of ferns and damp moss. The ground beneath his bare feet was soft, and he could hear the distant calls of creatures he could only dream about. His heart raced, not from fear, but from pure excitement. Rizzo had always been an adventurer. Growing up in the shadow of the great Dinosaur Forest, he'd heard countless stories about its ancient inhabitants, the towering giants that roam the jungle, some said as tall as the trees, others faster than the wind. But Rizzo wasn't scared. Today, he was going to meet them. As he made his way through a dense grove of ferns, he suddenly heard a loud rustling. His breath caught in his throat. Before he could move, two heads poked out from the greenery. But to his surprise, they weren't menacing at all. A baby Triceratops, with its small horns and big curious eyes, sniffed at his feet. Beside it, a much larger but still friendly-looking Stegosaurus wagged its spiked tail, almost like a dog. Rizzo grinned, reaching out to pat the baby Triceratops. "I'll call you Tip," Rizzo laughed as the Triceratops nuzzled against him. "And you," he said, looking up at the Stegosaurus, "you're Spike." The dinosaurs seemed to like their new names, nudging Rizzo forward as if guiding him on his journey. Together, they roamed deeper into the forest, the tension of the unknown giving way to the joy of newfound friendship. But their peace wouldn't last long. Suddenly, the ground beneath them rumbled. Birds erupted from the trees, screeching warnings to the creatures below. Spike stopped in his tracks, his nostrils flaring, sensing danger. Tip let out a nervous squeal. Rizzo's eyes widened as he looked up. The once still mountain that loomed over the Dinosaur Forest was alive. Dark smoke billowed from its peak, and with a deafening roar, the ground shook again. Lava began to trickle down the mountain's sides like fiery rivers. "We have to get out of here," Rizzo shouted. Without warning, the forest erupted into chaos. Predators that had been lurking in the shadows sprang into action. A sleek velociraptor darted between the trees, its yellow eyes locked on Rizzo. Behind it, a T-Rex, massive and terrifying, let out an earth-shaking roar. Tip and Spike sprang into action, flanking Rizzo as they bolted through the forest. The velociraptor was fast, but Spike's heavy tail swung in its direction, forcing it to back off. The T-Rex, however, was relentless, crashing through the trees like a walking earthquake. Rizzo's heart pounded in his chest as the mountain rumbled again. Lava flows were closing in. They had to think fast. Ahead, Rizzo spotted a narrow cave hidden behind a waterfall. "This way," he yelled, urging Tip and Spike toward the opening. Just as they reached the waterfall, the ground cracked open behind them, spilling molten rock across the forest floor. The T-Rex hesitated at the heat, letting out one last furious roar before retreating into the woods. Safe inside the cave, Rizzo collapsed against the cool stone wall, panting. Tip and Spike huddled close, their bodies trembling from the narrow escape. Outside, the forest was bathed in an eerie orange glow, the lava flowing in every direction. For now, they were safe. But Rizzo knew the adventure wasn't over yet. The Quaking Mountain wasn't done, and the forest was full of secrets still waiting to be discovered. With Tip and Spike by his side, Rizzo was ready to face whatever came next.